So as we all know, Rose Winters will be getting a DLC titled Shadows of Rose, which takes place 16 years after the events of Resident Evil 8, and it seems that we will be exploring the inside of a Mega Mycete as a now teenage Rose, and we'll see where that story takes us. But what I want to talk about here is, should Rose Winters' story continue after the DLC, or should this be where they wrap up her character along with the Winters arc in general? I've actually been kind of back and forth with this lately because, on one hand, as I've expressed, I was never the biggest Ethan Winters fan. I didn't really care for him in 7, and in 8 he was only semi-improved. Like, I just didn't really connect much with his character, and so will Rose Winters just be another Ethan? If so, I really won't mind if this DLC is her only appearance. However, on the other side of things, I've expressed how I wish Capcom would use the potential of other characters more often rather than just using Leon and Chris all the time. And so if she is, an interesting character and things like that, I would be definitely in favor of seeing her appear more often. But my big concern with her character isn't that she would be another Ethan, but rather she would be the video game version of Alice from the Anderson live action films, because she evidently has powers and abilities that not even Chris knows about, and I don't really want that in a character. I don't want someone who has like all these broken abilities that's supposedly even more powerful than Mother Miranda or any of the other lords or Wesker or whoever you want to talk about. Like, I don't want a character like that. I want more grounded characters. Jake and Sherry are perfectly fine because, yeah, they have potential and powers and stuff. Sherry has regeneration. Jake has his father's antibodies to progenitor-based viruses and stuff, but they're not superhuman and stuff. They're not like Wesker over here moving faster than bullets and stuff. Like, they're grounded characters still. But based off of what Rose is suggesting, she's like insanely powerful. That's my concern. Now, based off the DLC though, it does seem like in the trailer, she's looking for a way to lose these powers so that she can live a normal life. If that is in fact what will happen, and at the end of it, she is free of all these powers and she becomes normal, maybe she has like a little residue left, similar to how Sherry can still regenerate after being cured from the G embryos. Maybe they do something like that and she becomes a more grounded character. If that is what they do and she's an interesting character, I would be all for seeing Rose Winters down the line continue on with more stories. I'd be cool with that. One of the big things that I didn't like about Ethan, among several things, was I didn't really care for the fact that we never got to see his face. You can never really connect with the character. As far as I was concerned, and this was part of his gameplay, was he was nothing more than a camera, a lens for the player to express their emotions through. And so he just lacked the emotion, he lacked the character to really care for him. Whereas with Rose, we see her face, we see her character, so it does seem like there's more potential for her to be a more traditional style Resident Evil character. And so if she does follow the path of the more traditional style, Chris, Leon, Jill, etc., I would be all in favor of seeing her return for more future titles. But it just depends on what they do with this DLC. If the DLC ends and she's not that interesting of a character, or it ends and she's just super broken and she could solo anyone, I'll be fine if this is where they end it for her and they cut her off right there. But what do you think? Should Rose Winters continue onward after the DLC, or would you like to see her character wrap up with this and that be it? Or are you just going to wait and see what the DLC has to offer first and then decide and see where we go from there? I will end this video here and I shall see you all on the next one. See you then.